When Tyler abandoned me in a thunderstorm, outside the city's most expensive restaurant, soaking wet in my anniversary dress, I never imagined his boss would be the one to rescue me. What started as the worst night of my life became the sweetest revenge I never planned. Here's how it happened if you love stories about karma. Hitting exactly when it should. Smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping revenge tales. That'll make you believe in justice. You know, that feeling when you think you found your person. That warm certainty that wraps around you, like a favorite sweater making you believe that all those failed relationships were just preparing you for this moment. That's exactly how I felt about Tyler Morrison. For 2 years, I lived in what I thought was the perfect love story, complete with surprise weekend getaways, thoughtful gifts, and endless promises about our future together. My name is Luna, and I genuinely believed I had won the relationship lottery. Tyler was everything I thought I wanted. Successful account manager at a prestigious consulting firm, charming smile that could light up any room, and the kind of confidence that made other women envious when we walked into restaurants together. He had this way of making me feel special, like I was the only woman in the world, when his attention was fully on me. Those moments felt magical. Intoxicating even. But looking back now, I realize how rarely his attention was actually fully on me. Tyler had this habit of making grand gestures that looked perfect from the outside. He'd post our dates on social media with captions like, "My beautiful queen and lucky to have found my soulmate." Everyone thought we were relationship goals. My friends would constantly tell me how lucky I was, how Tyler seemed like such a catch. And I believed them. I believed him. I believed in us so completely that I ignored the small cracks that were already forming in our foundation. The night everything changed was supposed to be our 2-year anniversary. Tyler had made reservations at Chateau Lamaya, this incredibly exclusive French restaurant downtown, where celebrities go when they want to be seen. Getting a table there usually takes months of waiting. But somehow Tyler had managed it. He'd been building up this dinner for weeks, telling me how special it was going to be, how I should dress up because we were going somewhere that deserved my beauty. I spent my entire paycheck on the perfect dress. This stunning emerald silk number that hugged every curve and made my dark hair look like it was kissed. By starlight, I went to the salon. Got my nails done, bought new heels. That cost more than my monthly coffee budget. Every detail had to be perfect, because Tyler always noticed everything. At least I thought he did. When Tyler picked me up that evening, something felt different immediately. He was 45 minutes late, which wasn't entirely unusual. But there was this distracted energy about him that I'd never experienced before. Usually when he saw me dressed up, his eyes would light up and he'd spend at least 5 minutes telling me how incredible I looked. That night, he barely glanced at me before checking his phone. During the drive to the restaurant, I tried to engage him in conversation about our relationship, about memories from our past 2 years, about how excited I was for this special dinner. But Tyler's responses were short. Almost robotic, his phone kept buzzing. And each time it did, his jaw would tighten slightly. I told myself he was probably stressed about work, that once we got to dinner and he could relax, everything would go back to normal. But as we walked into Chateau Lumia, with its crystal chandeliers and intimate candlelit tables, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was about to discover something that would change everything forever. The first 20 minutes of dinner felt like watching a movie where the sound doesn't match the picture. Tyler sat across from me at this beautiful corner table, surrounded by soft violin music and the gentle murmur of other couples celebrating their own special moments, but he might as well have been on another planet. Every few minutes his phone would light up on the table, and his eyes would dart to it like a magnet was pulling them there. I tried everything to reconnect with him. I brought up our first date, how nervous he'd been when he spilled wine on his shirt. I mentioned the vacation we'd been planning to Italy, the little apartment we'd talked about getting together. But Tyler's responses were mechanical, distracted like he was reading lines from a script. He'd never rehearsed the man I'd fallen in love with, had been replaced by this hollow shell who couldn't even pretend to care about our anniversary dinner. Then I saw her name flash across his phone screen. Jessica. My stomach dropped like I was on a roller coaster, but I tried to rationalize it. Jessica worked at his company. Maybe it was something urgent about a client. But the way Tyler's face softened when he read that message, the tiny smile that played at the corners of his mouth. That wasn't the expression of someone dealing with work emergencies. That was the expression I used to see when he looked at me. "Who's Jessica?" I asked, trying to keep my voice light and casual, even though my heart was hammering against my ribs. Tyler's head snapped up, and for the first time all evening, I had his complete attention. But it wasn't the kind of attention I wanted. His eyes went wide, then quickly narrowed. Like he was calculating how much I might have seen. "Just someone from the office," he said, but his voice had this defensive edge. That made my skin crawl. I knew in that moment I knew everything. Even though my brain was still trying to protect me from